guess I understand myself.
What is this?
I don't know how to let go.
Never heard this
All
before.
this weight I put on me.
Sounds
For
familiar.
where I am or where I'll be. Once I learn to let go. Always have my sights on diamonds in the future. Remember when you wanted what you got right now? When I close my eyes and I'm alone with my mind, I get scared, I'm unprepared, and will be for the rest of my life. But I made it this far.
Oh yeah! That is a clip of my new song coming out next Friday. And that's what it looks like when I jam to my own song. I mean, sorry. Gotta do it. That is my new song. It's coming out next Friday, like I said. And you can pre-save at the link in my bio, so please do that after the live. But yes, I have on my Rolls Royce tee, which is my friend Sydney's t-shirt that I think that I stole from her, that I think she got in like 7th grade or something. So thank you, Sid. It's really a favorite t-shirt of mine. Oh gosh, how are you guys doing? We have made it to Friday. Something that's been going on with me is I haven't seen my wallet in weeks, and it's just furthering the fact that I lose everything. Because how do you lose your wallet when you aren't even going anywhere with it? It's tough to be a person who loses things. Because you try so hard to keep track of stuff, and still it's just like, I can't find my wallet. Maybe that's not good to say on live. I don't know. If you have it, give it back like they've been watching my lives. All right. I have a very exciting guest today. He is a photographer and a good friend of mine. And I'm really excited to get to talk to him and introduce you guys to him. But mainly just catch up because we really haven't talked in a while. So let's see if we can get him in here. Andy Barron. Hope he's ready. Hey!
Hey!
Andy Barron, everybody.
Woo, woo, woo.
How are you?
I'm nervous. This is my first time being live on Instagram ever.
Welcome to Instagram Live. It is, I'm sorry to just throw you in.
I know.
Bend.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you've never done it before, this is way better than being on just by yourself.
Well, that's good because I would have nothing to say or do. So.
Right, exactly. I
Yeah.
just spilled my LaCroix all over me.
Nice. Well,
So.
I'm drinking coffee from a special mug.
Nice.
Ah.
Well, it's good to see you.
You too.
We haven't seen each other in a while because, one, this pandemic, but two, because you live in Nashville, Tennessee.
I do.
And not Los Angeles, which is still tough.
I know, and you are constantly trying to get me to move back.
Yeah, so Andy and I, we're good friends. We go way back. Used to live in LA
Mhm.
and bonded a lot over our favorite foods. And,
Yes.
you know, so now I have some favorite Nashville spots that I miss that you also taught me with.
Mitchell's Deli.
Mitchell's Deli, and you send me a picture of a sandwich, and it's just really rude. And I send you pictures of Tacos Via Corona, our favorite burrito spot. So anyway, it'll probably just continue happening until you move back.
Did I ever take you to Redheaded Stranger?
Yeah, the tacos.
The taco place, yeah.
Yeah.
That place is good too. They just reopened again with like the curbside delivery thing. So me and
Oh.
Roxy were gonna maybe go get some tomorrow.
Yeah, so have you been cooking a lot, or have you been mostly just picking up stuff, or both?
I'm cooking a lot.
Oh.
Uh, I the other day I've found new ways to not cook chicken properly. I mean, like cook it thoroughly, but just bad.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
you're learning, you're trying to cook food badly.
badly. No, but then the other day I just legit looked up like idiot-proof chicken recipe, and there was a crock pot one. I'm like, oh, we have a crock pot, so I did that, and they were really good. So
Oh,
I'm just
nice.
gonna, from henceforth, I'm just doing crock pot chicken
You guys, I feel like
because
you
I have the
guys,
time to do it.
you are married to Roxy, who's also a good friend.
I
Shout out
am.
Roxy.
Shout out
Um,
Roxy. She's in our house somewhere.
she's like, shut up.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, not because she's rude, because she has a job.
Because she has a job. Yes, she's at work.
But I feel like you guys always have some good crock pot recipes going.
Yeah, we try. I mean, just got to experiment these days. Like today, my lunch, I just made like a chicken sandwich. And I'm like, what do we have in the fridge? Like, let's see what we got.
I know.
So,
I
yeah.
know. It's tough. It's tough. So you, I, did a little intro to you in my story, but if you didn't see it, and if you didn't know, I mean, your job is to literally be as hidden as possible.
That is my goal, which is funny.
So,
That was also my goal before I became a photographer, so it worked out perfectly. Yeah.
fade into the background.
Yes.
But, I feel like a lot of people have probably seen your work, but don't know who you are. But you are a photographer. If you wouldn't mind, would you give a little intro to the people who might not be familiar with you?
Sure. So I just started taking photography in high school, just as an elective because I heard it was easy, and
And
there
you're
was a
from
girl.
San Diego, right?
I'm from like early San Diego, and then high school was like Orange County,
Okay.
and then yeah, all Southern California until I got married, and then we moved to New York, and now I live in Nashville. But Southern California.
Yeah.
And I took a photography class because I thought it sounded easy, and and I took it, and like within a couple of weeks, my teacher was like, "Oh, you actually have a really good eye." I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah.
So then I just stuck with it, and I really enjoyed it. And then when I got to college, I was an art major, but I worked at my college newspaper, just shooting whatever came along, basketball games and pep rallies and all that kind of stuff too. And
Yeah.
then always loved music. When I was in high school, I remember the first show I ever took photos at was Jimmy Eat World on the Clarity Tour at the
Yeah.
Roxy in like 1999.
Oh
I
my.
just, I know, I just went like when I was in high school. I was like, oh, I love this album. I'm gonna go, and
Yeah.
actually took some photos, and I'm like, oh, there's actually some cool photos there too. Like I've actually found the negatives the other day, and they're like, because it was film.
Right.
Um,
Wow.
so yeah, so then when I was in college, I kept shooting for the school paper and ended up shooting a show for Switchfoot,
Mm-hmm.
and or shooting a Switchfoot show, not for them, and it was still for the college paper. And then through kind of this crazy story, they saw some of the photos just in my little college newspaper. And I got an email from Chad, the drummer, one day, just like, "Hey, we really like this photo. Can we see some more from this show?" And I was like, freaking out. And I
Yeah.
and I think I even complimented him on his bass playing. And then Chad's the drummer. And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's gonna hate me." He thought I was he was the bass
Your
player.
career was almost ruined.
Pretty much, it's
Oh my
from an errant
God.
email. Yeah,
Thank God he let that slide.
yeah. So then they saw I scanned more pictures and sent them to him, and I actually met up with Chad. They were coming up to LA to do something, and I met up with him in an In-N-Out Burger and showed him all my photos. And then yeah, we just kind of stayed in touch, and every time they would play shows in LA or San Diego, I would go shoot just because I was a kid who wanted to shoot shows and I liked their band.
Yeah. And you're still in college at this point?
Yeah, still in
Yeah.
college. And then I graduated from college, and it was about a year afterwards. I was still kind of trying to figure out what to do, and I'd found this terrible job that said photography assistants like necessary, and it was one of those stores where you sell your stuff on eBay, like in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Uh, and
Yes.
so I just was like gonna take pictures of like people's statues and put them up on eBay or whatever. And I was like, this is gonna be terrible.
Right.
And I was driving home from my first day of that, and I got a call from Tim, the actual bass player. And he was like, "Hey, I know this is like really random, but what are you doing the next 6 weeks? Would you want to come on tour with us?" And I was like, freaking out in my car. I vividly remember it. I was living right by Biola still, the college
Yeah.
I went to. And I just remember driving home from the 40-Year-Old Virgin eBay store right next to a Del Taco. I remember the intersection, and I was
I
just like,
love it.
oh my gosh. Um, so yeah, so then like 3 days later, I was on tour, and I kind of haven't really stopped
Yeah,
since. And
it's
that
like
was
the rest was
that
history.
was 2006. So
Wow.
here we are. So
So
then, yeah,
crazy.
then after Switchfoot, I started touring with Foster the People. Joined up with them kind of right after Pumped Up Kicks blew up, and was with
Yeah.
them for about 4 or 5 years, and then toured on and off with some other different artists. But then more recently, over the last like 4 years, I've been out with Chris Stapleton. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy. I mean, did you ever have a moment in the beginning where you were like, can I do this? Like, am
Oh
I
yeah.
going to be good at this? And
I mean,
you
I
were
sometimes still have that where I'm like, am I good at this still? But
yeah, I mean, because I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's a good example of just kind of like saying yes to something, even before you feel like you're all the way ready, and then it turning into your full career.
oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, like that first time that I met up with Chad at the In-N-Out Burger to
Yeah.
show him my photos, I was just like crapping my pants, just like, hopefully they like this. Like, I just don't even know like what to do or what. And looking back, I'm like just so surprised that like they even like reached out and were just like, hey, like, can we see this other one? And I'm just like, why would they do that? But okay. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's totally that just like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And then just like be confident and like cold email and call people like that works like
Yeah.
I've gotten so many random jobs and stuff from like either like especially early on like kind of just emailing managers and like trying to make a good portfolio site for people to see and then kind of like sending it out to people and it
Yeah.
works so
Yeah. I mean,
yeah
yeah, that's for sure. And
but
so like, okay, so you get asked to go on tour,
yeah
and I guess like you just sort of get into that like groove of like, okay, now I'm getting asked to go on tour because I've been going on tour.
yeah
And then like, did you ever have a moment where you were like, oh, do I want to like keep stepping into tours? Like what do you like about tour photography, and live shows and taking those
right
kinds of photos over just being like, I'm gonna just do photo shoots for like
right
more editorial stuff or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, it was funny. I actually never really had like words to describe it before, and I'm about to get real Nashville on you now, so get ready. But
Get
once I
ready,
took that,
y'all. Oh, I'm
once I
ready.
took that all Enneagram test,
Oh yeah,
it
we're
was,
getting
we're
there.
getting there. But so I took it, and I'm a 9, which is like my thing is to kind of just like stay out of people's way and kind of do my own thing and not ruffle anyone's feathers. And so
Right.
once I had taken that test and like seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense why I like to do this work specifically compared to other photography. Because
Yeah.
I would see friends who would be photographers and do these like big photo shoots and like even be at some of the photo shoots and like watch it happen. And I'm just like, this is not me. Like, that's not what I should be doing or would be even good at doing.
Well,
And
I
like the,
know, Andy, you
oh,
did shoot the
that's,
cover of one of my first EPs, A Little More Free, for
that's
all the
true.
OG
I did
kids
do that. We
Tarver.
cleared out my living room in Silver Lake and
I know, we just remembered that like right before I was going live. I was like, wait, like you
oh
shot
yeah,
the cover for A Little More
I
Free.
did.
So a
Yeah,
little fun
little
fact.
tidbit. Yeah.
I feel like people probably knew that if they
Yeah.
knew that EP, but
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
yeah,
that kind of
once
stuff, like,
once I realized that of like I'm I think I work best when I'm just kind of like doing my own thing off to the side, letting people do their thing and me just kind of being around.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I think that's my favorite kind of stuff to shoot just because yeah, it just fits my personality. And then once I kind of had that realization, I think I kind of stopped comparing myself to other photographers who are doing that and being like, should I do this? And I'm like, no, I'm in my lane. I'm where
right.
I should be.
Yeah, I
So
found my lane. I'm
yeah,
good here. Yeah,
yeah.
and you really are. I mean, you've gone on tour with Switchfoot and Foster
Mm,
People and Chris Stapleton, but you've also done like one-off shows and shot like everybody. Like, I mean, I know you just posted a
yeah.
video today of Maren Morris, and like,
Mm,
can you think of
yeah.
off the top of your head a couple other, fun
Yeah. I
stuff
mean,
that you've gotten to shoot?
another one that popped up that was fun just because we the other day we were talking and Joy's name came up, but I shot the Civil Wars like on their first leg of their tour up California when they played like Hotel Cafe.
Yeah, I remember that. That's
It was Hotel Cafe and then like a little like pizza restaurant in Santa Cruz where Joy's from,
right.
and and then like Cafe du Nord in San Francisco. But
Oh
it
my
was like
gosh.
they were
Yeah.
playing to like I think that Santa Cruz was to like 50 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Yeah.
it was wild. Like I have like vivid memories with them like in the van driving up California listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy because that record had just come out.
Yes.
And we were just all like, this record is insane.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
so
it's
cool to be able to see like artists go from small venues to gigantic ones and being able to have like captured the beginning of
mm,
their career. I mean, even
yeah,
with Foster, like I feel like you got in with them, pretty fairly early on, right? I mean, they
yeah,
had Pumped Up Kicks was out, but I mean, it was like at the beginning of their, they really blew up after that song, and that tour took you guys like around the world.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I joined up with them pretty soon after Pumped Up Kicks. I remember they had they had played like the K Rock Weenie Roast. Like
Uh-huh.
they were one of the like early bands on the side stage or whatever. They had played that, and for whatever reason, I couldn't do it that day. But that night, they were driving back up to LA to, I think, go up to like San Francisco for another kind of radio show.
Hmm.
And I'd hopped on the bus and met all the guys that night. I had met like their managers. I knew that was kind of my connection. I went to college with them. And so I got on the bus and I distinctly remember waking up the next morning and Isom. I'd met everyone but him.
Uh-huh.
He's like the keys player.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting up in the front lounge of the bus and he just walks out and he looks at me and he goes, I'm sorry, who are you? Like he was just so confused. Um,
I can just picture him saying that.
yeah, yeah. If you know Isom, you're like, oh,
So
that checks
nice
out.
about it. Like, I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
sorry.
just I'm sorry, but who are you?
Who are you? And like, why aren't you on the bus?
Yeah, but so I joined up with them like pretty early on, and yeah, I mean we went around the world like multiple times. Um, I mean Australia a few times, Europe a bunch
Are
of
there any
times.
like good stories you have?
Oh
You could. I mean, I'm sure there's.
man, I'm trying to think of any that are appropriate. I mean, on the topic of ISOM, the first one that came to mind was we were in customs about to go into Malaysia, and Foster just fully pants his ISOM in customs,
Oh
and
no.
all of us are just like, we're trying to get through Malaysian customs right now. Like, what are you doing? Um, but
Oh,
then we all laughed about it later, and it was fine.
yeah.
And
Oh
then,
man. Always a
yeah,
classic move to pants somebody.
always.
It always
Pantsing's
works.
always funny. But yeah, I mean, like I feel so fortunate to have gotten to work with them and just like kind of lived through so much life with them.
Yeah.
I mean it up to the point of even like shooting Mark's wedding, like at the end of last year,
Yeah.
like in December. It was
Yeah.
kind of just this like crazy like full circle moment,
That's
which
crazy.
that was so much fun and felt
Yeah.
so honored to be asked to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what's so cool. Like, I know I feel like you just have such a respect for the craft that is photography, and knowing that you're like responsible for preserving such like big moments in people's lives. And I think like, I don't know, that's just such a cool, it's just such a cool thing that you can do.
Yeah,
like,
and I think with going back even to like the like my personality kind of thing, like
yeah,
my whole mindset has always been like whoever I'm working for, like they think that whatever this thing that they're doing is very special and like unique and cool and they want it documented, which is awesome.
yeah,
So I don't want to come in and be that guy that's gonna like change the environment or change it with my having a camera there.
right.
Like, because I mean, how many times like have you like been somewhere and someone like pulls out a camera and everyone just kind of is like
Yeah.
like and like acts weird or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's like that's like my nightmare. And so I think just always trying to be like a person first and actually just be someone that people want to hang out with first. And then when
Right.
you pull out a camera, it's not weird. It's just like, oh yeah, this is Andy. He has a camera, which
Right. Yeah.
you know that very well as I
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, I
pretty
feel like
much documented you and David dating like the entire way
I know that's
accidentally.
really the saddest thing about you not living anymore. Me and David have many pictures of us together.
Well, because we would just be like hanging out all the time, and then I just would take photos because that's what I
Yeah.
did. And so,
Yeah, well, it's nice because, yeah, like you said, it's like, it's hard to even remember sometimes to bring out your camera and document stuff. But I'm always like, I'm always trying to do that too because I'm very sentimental and obsessed with memories and documenting everything. But you're obviously really good at it, not making it this whole thing and getting like really good, like pulling it out. I don't know. I've never seen anyone faster at like pulling your camera out, having it open, getting the shot. Like every time I try to do that, it's like, oh, I can't. I'm dropping my phone. I can't get the camera open. Like, and then when I take it, it's blurry. It's like, I feel like it's really, you know. I mean, you've obviously had a lot of practice. And I was gonna ask, like, you know, with friends, it's one thing. It's like, oh, like someone's doing something stupid, take a photo. Okay, hope you get it. But with you, I mean, you've been on tour with Chris Stapleton for the past few years, right?
mm-hmm.
And, you know, I feel like, and not even with Chris, with other people too, when you're kind of like in the green room before and say there's like some, like a celebrity coming down to say hi before the show because they want to meet Chris. And it's like you have to be in there documenting the meeting of like Tom Hanks or whoever it is with, you know, and are you ever just like about to pee your pants because you're like, what if I miss the shot?
Oh yeah,
of Chris. Like, how do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The one that definitely comes to mind was back when I was still with Foster the People. They played the Bridge School benefit for Neil Young. Yeah, and it was just like this insane lineup, and like they were so pumped to be there, and like we were all excited to be there just because like I'd always heard stories of Bridge School benefit, and like it's just like such a cool thing, and so Neil Young was there, and total side note, which we could come back to if we want, but the band started filming a documentary. Started filming a documentary about me that you know about, and so there was another guy there, Marshall. Shout out Marshall, he's probably watching this.
Marshall.
Seeing as that he called both of us within the last 24 hours.
Marshall,
and
comment.
So he was filming me as they finish their set, and we go into the green room, and I don't really shoot video much anymore, and I honestly think it's partially from this exact memory because I got so frustrated and flustered. But I go into the room and I'm like filming and I'm all excited, you know. And, we're in there and they're all like high-fiving and just finished their set. And Neil Young comes in. We didn't know he was coming in. And he was just like, hey guys, like I heard I was in my, he has like a tour bus that would just like sit on the side at Bridge School benefit. And he was like, I was in my bus listening to it, watching the feed from my bus. And I was just like so blown away by it. He came out and was standing side stage and was like watching, and everyone was like freaking out.
Oh my God.
And so he just came in and he was like, I just want to say thanks so much for playing, and like you guys did great or whatever. And I realized like as Neil was like walking out that my microphone wasn't on. So I was filming, but it's just all like nothing. And I like literally started sweating from every pore of my body. It just like I
Oh,
was just like, oh my gosh, like that. And
oh
I but
no.
then I look over at Marshall, who is filming me for this documentary, and I'm like, is your mic on? And he was like, yeah, like that. And I was just like, oh my God. So literally the whole documentary thing, as much as I hate being on camera, being filmed and everything about that, all of that, just to have Marshall there filming that one thing to get the audio for it, I was like, okay, that was worth it. That was fine.
That is insane.
Even
How
like thinking about
lucky.
it now, I'm like getting like
I
stressed out
get
about it. But
stressed.
yeah, yeah,
That is insane.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you were thankful at that point.
I was very thankful at that point. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can talk about that for a second if you want because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'll let you set it up.
Yeah. So yeah. When I was on tour with Foster the People, Mark, the singer, kind of challenged me to lose weight. I was a bigger guy,
Right.
and yeah, so he just kind of gave me this challenge to lose weight, and the goal was if I lost 80 pounds in 8 months, that he would give me $20,000. So I did it.
I did it.
I mean, it was funny too, like looking back, like I didn't really have any tours lined up or anything too. So in my brain, I was just picturing, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I could pay some bills this way.
Right,
Like,
right.
and
Yeah.
like losing weight would probably be good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I did that. And so in the process of it, they decided to start kind of filming everything.
Right.
And this footage is somewhere. Again, Marshall, if just
If you're
somewhere,
watching.
who knows if you're
Yeah, I
watching.
feel like that must have been really, really difficult to, like you've been saying, your personality, you prefer to not be in the spotlight, not to be the center of attention. And then all of a
Mm,
sudden it's like, oh, let's turn the cameras on you. Let's really go deep and like
yeah.
get into some really heavy stuff. And I think
Yeah, a lot of those interviews turned into like therapy
yeah,
sessions.
we
I
were friends
think.
during that period, obviously. And yeah, I
And
mean,
they interviewed you and David
I
and
know.
everyone else in
Yeah,
my life. Yeah.
it was a crazy year of life within
Yeah.
our friend group and for you. And obviously you well, can we say?
What?
I'm all of a sudden worried about spoiling the
Spoiling the thing that happened 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
But you did end up losing the weight, and it was a really cool journey, to see you go on and kind of I feel like you would say it changed your life
Oh,
in
for sure.
so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was something that I'd kind of always wanted to do, and known that I'm like, I should probably lose some weight, but I think like with my personality, just kind of like going with the flow and like, oh, we'll figure it out. Like we're good. Like I just knew that was something I should probably do.
Yeah,
But I think this just kind of kicked me in the butt in a good way.
right.
And yeah, so I forever am thankful for Mark and the fact that he did that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's a very brave and vulnerable thing for both of you,
wait,
to
hold on. Someone just asked, what did you do with the 20 G's? Um,
what did you do?
I bought a car because I had a car that needed a lot of work, and so I was like, you know what?
This is the most
I'm gonna get a
Andy
car.
thing ever. He's like, oh, I just got 20 G's. A lot of people would be like, all right, I'm going to buy something sick. And then what did Andy get?
Down payment on a Prius.
Hey!
Yeah.
A sensible
Yeah.
car.
Super sensible LA gas efficient car.
Yeah. I mean, that
So,
was exciting, though.
it was exciting.
The Prius was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What was the car you had before that?
Remember, it was that white Toyota Camry with the crunched in front end from when I got in that car accident coming back from Malibu.
It's not
'Cause
funny, but yes.
No, it wasn't funny, but just the circumstances were funny. Because remember, that's when we got tickets to go to the Arcade Fire Grammy concert. Weren't you there? Did you go to that?
Yeah.
When they played that secret, they played like a secret show, like when that year they won the Grammys.
You know what? I feel like I don't know if I went to that. It could have been Sid and Wit.
That checks out.
Yeah, I think it could have been them because I was probably like, you know what, you guys deserve this more than me.
Yeah.
I'm so selfless.
Ooh, Mayor Jingles is watching. How can you forget that car?
Hey.
Mayor Jingles of Fancy Town. That's his full nickname. But.
Yeah, no, but seriously, thanks for sharing that because it is very vulnerable and brave, and I know it was tough, but really, really cool that you did that, and it.
Sid doesn't know if she went to the Arcade Fire show either.
See, we're all like, do we?
No,
know
it was at that random
done?
it was like at the Ukrainian Cultural Center right by Scoops, the little in Los Feliz.
This is really not.
It might have been my roommates like at the Silver Lake house.
Sid's saying now, I don't think I went, which is now I'm like, wait, why didn't I go?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Now we're all getting reminded. Maybe it was another friend group entirely, Andy, and you.
Yeah.
See, okay, yeah, now we're upset. We did not get invited to this secret show.
Well, because I think I waited for tickets at Origami Vinyl. I went and got online. Gosh, the free time I had living in LA.
Vinyl collection, which is which is very impressive. When did you start collecting vinyl?
Man, I just started collecting on tour just because when I was touring with Switchfoot, because we were in a different town with a different record store and a different pool of stuff to buy every day. I was just like, this will be my hobby. And I mean, just loving music like I do and photography, it's just kind of like a big, fun way to have that, the big photos and the artwork and everything. So I just always loved it. And my actual degree in college was graphic design and doing a lot of layouts and stuff. So I just love that. And then now it's grown to being almost all of a room in my house.
Yeah, I know. How many do you have at this point?
It's funny because one of my grand plans for quarantine was I'm going to go through and fully catalog them because there's this really nerdy record collecting website database that you can make an account and do it all. But I did it forever ago, but I haven't really kept up with it. And I'm like, I'm going to dial that in. So it's perfect. But then Roxy's now working in that room as her office space. So it's I don't want to bug her.
In there just.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's at least 1,000, if not more, if not a couple. I don't know, but I know. It's not the most fun to move with. I'll say that.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oof.
But it's fun. It's a I think healthy hobby of mine.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. So you've been touring with Chris, and were you guys on tour before all this went down, or were you kind of on a break?
Yeah, we had one show in this. Our year was all planned out and everything. We had one show, and then it was. I remember right before the show was when all the news that the NBA was going to get postponed, and we were all kind of looking at our phones, oh, this is real deal now. So we did the one show, and then we just all went home after that.
Yeah.
And
So as someone who's been, touring a lot for the past 15. 15
I know, gosh, we're old. 15 years. Yeah.
Are you enjoying having some time off, or are you kind of since you're so used to touring, are you kind of okay?
I'm definitely getting antsy. I really love doing that for my job, and I love working with Chris and everyone there, and it's just fun. We have fun on tour, and so I miss that. But obviously, I love being at home with Roxy, and it's. Having all this time at home it's weird, but it's good weird.
Maybe a nice little break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay busy and stay productive and
stay watching a bunch of shows.
I'm marathoning all the James Bond movies from the beginning.
And also, people might not know about this about you. You're a huge Bachelorette fan.
I do enjoy.
To expose you, but
hey, it's fine. I expose myself, and that sounds weird, but
Have you
I
been
like the
watching,
Bachelor.
have you been watching Listen to Your Heart?
I have been watching Listen to Your Heart.
Yes, I knew it. And
Yeah.
you know what?
What else am I gonna do?
It took me a long time to come around to Bachelor Nation life. But the past couple seasons, I've finally gotten roped in. And
Yeah.
I've also been watching Listen to Your Heart. Because, again, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, it's just good to have a new crop of people. Different mansion.
Different mansion.
The couple that sang Chris's song on it this week, I thought did great.
I think they are the front runners.
Yeah, they were good.
It was pretty dramatic this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been dramatic.
The flip-flopping with that one gal from the one guy or the other. I'm bad with names on it. I'm like, the guy with the beard and the long hair, he's gone.
Sheridan,
and then the other girl, yeah.
Julia and Jonathan? I don't know. Sid, chime in. Also, someone just quoted you. I exposed myself.
Thanks.
So that's the headline from this.
Thanks, Noah.
I exposed myself. Andy Barron.
That's the takeaway.
Seeing Julia flip-flop from Sheridan to Brandon. Thank you, Sid.
Yes.
On you. And then in the end, getting kicked off and being like, should have slept with Sheridan. Well, that's really a lesson we can all learn.
I mean, Sheridan is the one who came out looking great.
Yeah, Amanda just chimed in with Brandon too. I just want to give you a shout out.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yes, it was sad to see him go, and he seems like a real sweetheart, and he really did come out better in the end.
Totally, he's fine.
Because I also felt like the editors sort of like Sheridan for Bachelor. I feel like the editors sort of kind of hid how much of a what's the word? Dick Brandon was until like
him calling her sweetie multiple times.
Yes, exactly. It was like
me and Roxy were just talking about that, and Roxy was like, "I would punch you if you called me sweetie like that."
Exactly, because they didn't.
She didn't say she would punch me. She just said she would be angry.
Well, I think she might warrant a punch. Might be warranted because I feel like they weren't showing him saying sweetie. Like he was coming across as like. I was a little confused why he was like the hot commodity, but like I was like, whatever. And then Julia kicks Sheridan to the curb, and then all of a sudden Brandon's like, "What's going on, sweetie? Okay."
Oh
sweetie.
gosh, that was rough.
I was like, "Oh man!" Like they're really driving it home that she chose the villain.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then he got kicked off, thankfully.
Oh well.
But yeah, it's a very funny show to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you recommend it?
Oh yeah, definitely recommend it. Have you gotten in on Vanderpump Rules yet? Come on.
No, and I know if Roxy's watching this, she's gonna maybe unfriend me forever. I don't watch a lot of reality, honestly.
That's okay. We all have our things.
We all have our things. I mean, I have been watching. Yeah. We started watching Better Call Saul during all this.
Oh, okay.
Which reminds me
of
a fun memory we have.
Ooh, I know where this is going.
But that really worked.
Yeah. See, you're such a pro. That segue. Come on.
I'm just a pro by now. When we went so Andy and I got to go to the finale. So in LA, they screened the finale of Breaking Bad at the Hollywood Cemetery. Right? Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And
where they do the movies.
One of those things that, like, it was the hot ticket. Because it's, like, how rare. I mean, you can only get that opportunity living here. The whole cast was going to be there. And, like, you know, anyone who watched Breaking Bad was, like, obsessed, as we all were. And
well, remember, I marathoned the entire show a week before the finale.
Oh,
well, or no, not a week before the finale, a week before the first episode of the last season, because I remember you guys would always get together on Sunday nights and watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like jealous. I'm like, well, they're all hanging out. Like, I want to go hang out with my friends. And they were like, why aren't you watching Breaking Bad? So I finally did.
Yeah.
And
so then
it was great.
I just happened to click the link at the right time, got tickets, and we all got to go watch the finale in the cemetery of Breaking Bad. It's one of my favorite memories just of all time.
Well, I remember you could only buy 2
Yeah.
Me, you, and like David and Drew were all like online trying to buy them.
Yes.
And you were like the only one, so you got two. And then remember, I got two from Foster because he sent me some like secret link from
Yes, I remember
Aaron
this.
to get those tickets, and I'm eternally grateful. But yeah, so then like we all got to go, and it was just
Yeah,
so much fun.
I know. It was so, so much fun. Like,
Yeah,
such a fun memory and thing that happened in time.
yeah. I remember too, me and David, we stayed for that after party, and I just remember our goal was to do a shot with Walt Jr. and we succeeded. We
And you did.
succeeded.
And you did. And there you go.
Mhm.
Man, so much fun. So,
Yeah.
okay, who's on your bucket list that you haven't shot yet that you...
Ooh. Oh man. That is a great question. I mean,
Thank you.
I feel really fortunate that there's so many people that I have had the ability to take photos of live. And I remember the show that I went to that I was the most bummed that I did not have a camera for was when I went to the Kanye Yeezus tour.
Oh, yeah.
Like I saw that thing like three times, just that like the mountain and like visually it was like one of the most insane shows I've ever seen. And it's
Yeah,
like it's rare that I go to a show and I'm just because usually I like going to shows now like without my camera just to like enjoy a show just because I love live music.
right.
But it's like I'll get that urge when I'm at certain shows and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would do this and I could stand there and like I like already am planning it in my head of like what I would do. And I just remember that show was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a
And
good one.
then man,
Yeah,
I don't even know. Like I mean,
I kind of put you on the spot with
yeah,
that.
that's okay. That's
It's a
okay.
hard question to answer.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much good music
Yeah.
these days and so many like cool tours and um I mean, shooting some stuff. I shot like one Billie Eilish show and then she played here at Third Man in Nashville.
Yeah,
And I got to shoot that. That was really, really fun.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that was her and
And Third Man is
Phineas
like a
playing.
really small venue in Nashville.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like
Yeah,
during
it was like
Grammy week or something, wasn't it? Or right
yeah, it
before?
was maybe it was CMA week, I think, because there
Yeah.
was a lot of like kind of music-y people in town. But yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, I just love those songs, and she has a great voice, and
Yeah.
yeah, getting to shoot that was super fun. Um,
I just saw a
and
question
yeah.
roll by. Maybe I'll give you,
Oh yeah,
you can think about that other question in the back of
yeah.
your head. But this is kind of an interesting question from Becky Sherman. She says, what's your opinion on taking photos, videos at concerts, first enjoying the concert off of your phone? And I mean, obviously for you, it's your job to take photos. But as a concert goer, like, because I go back and forth with that too, because I want to be able to film and post stuff or like have it to remember, but I also get the argument for just kind of being in the moment. And I feel like that's with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I usually, if I'm like going to a show, like if me and Rox are just going to a show, like as fans or like sitting in the audience,
Yeah.
I think I'll usually kind of take photos here and there or like video the song like that like really means a lot to me or something a little bit, but then like try and put my phone away as much as possible.
Yeah.
Especially even like during a show, like if I'm trying to take pictures and you see like people on their phones and stuff, and it's like it always kind of just like takes away. Like I try to like kind of crop around those people like as I'm shooting just because I'm like just move like or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that. Because yeah, as soon as the
'Cause
concert starts, people's phones are just up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the timelessness. Like you look at photos even from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what was I watching the other day? Man, I'm gonna forget. I was watching some show that was like 10 years ago or something. Like people are posting, you know, like old concerts and stuff online now to watch, and I was watching it, and like no one was on their phone.
Right.
Oh no, you know what it was? It was when the Jonas Brothers put up their like documentary thing.
Oh.
I found this old photo I took of Kevin
Yeah.
because the Jonas Brothers are all like big Switchfoot fans, and so this was when I was working with Switchfoot a lot.
Uh-huh.
Jonas Brothers were playing in San Diego, and they invited Switchfoot to just come down and say, hey. And so I brought my camera.
Right.
So I just took it. They were like, yeah, go shoot in the photo pit. Like, they just let me shoot. And I was like, okay. So I remember taking this photo that to this day is like one of my favorite photos I've taken. And like, you look and no one's on their phones. And there's like one girl with a little point and shoot camera like this. And I'm like, man, it just is like such like a time capsule right there of like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I have mixed feelings on it because I don't really love the like huge aversion to it of just people being like, stay in the moment. Like, I'm just like, okay, like we're all on our phones, it's fine. But
yeah,
I get it. But good question, Becky.
Like, yeah.
She said
actually, that actually just
about concert photography. Oh, cool.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like thinking about this brought up a memory of you and David actually coming to a Stapleton show.
Yeah.
Because we were at the Forum, and I was like, the show had already started, and I came out to come find you guys and say hi.
Yeah.
And I like walk up and I look, and I find you guys like sitting in the aisle, and the show had already started. And I look over at you, and then like sitting right next to you, got literally the seats next to you were Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen. Yeah. And your eyes were just like, hey, like, be cool. Look who we're sitting next to. Isn't this cool?
Cool? Yeah, exactly.
And then it was my friend Natalie who had like texted me like, oh, I gave Katelyn like good seats, knowing exactly what was going on. But
yes, you always hook it up, Andy. It's always the best.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really nice. We've almost talked for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Time just flies.
I know.
I'm telling you. How do you feel after your first Instagram Live?
Oh man,
you made it through.
I feel fine. I unscathed for the most part, I guess.
For inquiries, your DMs are just gonna be flooded now with your.
Oh my gosh, so much sliding into the DMs. Well. Now I'm looking at more of the comments. I haven't even really been looking.
Yeah.
So wait, I just Facebook Live the whole show. Is that bad? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, this is exclusive. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Andy, I really appreciate you coming on. You're one of my fave people, obviously.
Thank you for having me.
And
another memory I just thought of. Wait, can I tell a personal one?
Yeah.
When I took photos of you getting proposed to.
Oh yeah.
On the dock, or on that like a pier.
Oh man, how could we forget?
How could we forget? I legit remember me and David hiding in the bathroom, like freaking out, trying to figure out if you knew we were there or something, or knew I was there.
He would be telling you how you were supposed to stick to a script, and you went off script immediately, and he panicked.
I don't think you ever told me that.
You were supposed to bring up some like ice cream spot, or I don't know. Y'all had like a whole plan of how you were going to get the right moment, and it all kind of went off the rails, but it still ended up working, and you were able to get the proposal on camera.
I did.
Very sweet.
I still remember too, like taking the photo, and there's like some like water spigot or something in the background that I was just so annoyed was there. I'm like, I wish I could move, but I couldn't. Because I'm like, where was it? I didn't want.
Choose this.
I'm like, scoot over like 5 feet, but whatever. It was fun. That was such a fun day.
It was a really fun.
And then I remember, I think your mom had flown out too, right?
Yeah.
Your mom and your sister, and then you just started crying.
Yeah, of course.
Naturally.
I was an emotional wreck. Yeah, that was really sweet. Oh.
That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just a part of your life. I mean, you're a part of so many people's big life moments, and being able to preserve them is just so special. I mean, it really is, like, when you think about it, it's just so special that you get to do that. And I feel like you really respect that and like honor that and take it super seriously. And I think, you know, the body of work that you have in the career and the work that you do is like really reflective of that. So,
well, that's very, very nice of you to say.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
But I really appreciate you. Yes, he says preserving all of our Coachella moments.
Coachella moments.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it is big and small.
I
I mean,
remember,
like,
okay, another story that just reminded me that, I took some photo of Drew, I think, standing there like drinking a drink or something, and there was that random couple like making out next to him.
God, I mean, you could do a Coachella
But then I posted
photo
that
book
photo and someone was like, wait, I know who that guy is. Right? And
of
then
the
like
couple making out.
of the couple making out.
I kind of do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah, you get these huge life moments and then also moments of like us at a coffee shop that like
Yeah.
5 years later you send to me and I'm like, I remember that.
Getting coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, I'll let you go and get
Mhm.
to watching the next Bond movie.
I will. I have like 45 minutes on the next
Yeah.
one and then I'm done.
But thanks for coming on, Andy.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Mhm.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh, man. That was fun. Good old Andy. You know, he really does not give interviews, so that was super exclusive content. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously a super nice guy, and he's been a friend of mine for so long and taken so many photos of so many memorable times in my life, and he, you know, does that for a lot of people. So hope you guys enjoyed that little chat. And I'm sure if there's more questions you have for Andy, you can, you know, send him a message on Instagram or something. Because he's always really nice about, you know, sharing tips about photography or how he got into it. And yeah, so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a reminder, I have a new song coming out in a week. Comes out next Friday. It's called Made It This Far, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm excited to share it with you all. The link to pre-save the song is in my bio, my Instagram bio. So if you guys will go click it and pre-save it, that means it'll go directly into your library, wherever you stream your music, and it'll be just ready to go when it comes out. But yeah, I shared a clip at the beginning, and I'm excited for you guys to hear it. All right. Well, happy Friday, you guys. This has been such a fun week on Instagram Live. Thanks again to Rabel and Leland and Darcy Carden and Andy for coming on and talking to me. I hope you guys enjoyed all those. And I'll be back, you guessed it, next week with more lives. So be looking out. Pre-save made it this far. And I'll see you next week. Okay, have a good weekend, everyone.